Well, let's start off the bearing build. Get the base kit. Make sure you have tools on hand, of course. Important. Taking your stuff apart, you don't need. Firewall. Formers. One. Tail. Spare pieces. Former 2 and former 3. 1, 2, 3. Get your glue guns hot. Make sure you have extra glue handy. We'll start with the body. Get it done. We'll set everything aside. Now, need some sort of squeegee, extra piece of material. Go. And of course, you know, I forgot to get my 45-degree angle. All pieces come pre-cut from the kits. Pretty easy to deal with. You can clean them up if you really want to. The knife, it's pretty simple if you want to clean it up. Just run the knife across it. Cleans up edges nicely. But considering what the airplane is, it doesn't really need it. Pieces are already pre-cut in the side. Don't have to worry about them. Folds up nice. Everything is marked. You have 1, 2, 3. And you have firewall markings. Important to know, firewall with markings on it, make sure it's facing out the right way. Make sure you put your number formers in the right way as well. I use high temp glue gun from Home Hardware. They are heavy glue sticks. I'm not sure if you can see that on there or not. If I get it back in here, there they are. Yellowish in style. So, do that. I saw someone posting something, I just can't see what's being posted. So, alright, let's get this glued together. It's going to be really quick. Pretty simple, really. Just apply your glue where you need to put it, which former 1 facing forward. If you want to, you can use yourself a 90-degree. Put it in straight up and line yourself up. There's 1. 2's got a keyway in it already, so it goes in one simple spot. Put it in, a little bit of glue. And put it at 90. Let's wait a second for it. Love the thing about glue gun. And for number 3, turn around a little better so you might be able to see it. Number 3 just goes behind where the servo is going to be. It's not really crucial where it has to go, so just put it in wherever you like it. If you want to have a little bit behind, go nuts, but it's just a doublet for at the back. Put that in as straight as possible. Mind you, this is probably going to be the straightest one I've ever put together because I'm doing a video, of course. There, so now you have 3 doublers in to make your body. Pretty simple, it folds together. So, let's fold it over a little bit, just put a little more glue on the edge. Second. Number 2 obviously is going to give me a little bit of hassle, but it's no big deal. again, it's not really critical. But for you guys, I will definitely go all the way with it. Now, when you're using the glue gun, pretty important you have to do, make sure you have a good glue gun. I've got a 60-watt one. I'd almost recommend even going higher heat than that. But then the hotter the heat, longer it's going to take for it to cool off so you can take your hands off of your project and work on it, as you can see. And I will burn myself at least once in this video. If I don't, I didn't do a good job. Always have extra glue sticks handy. And the next step is going to be putting a lot of glue in. You're going to be filling a glue bead down both sides. You can do one or both. I prefer just doing one. Might have a little bit of stuff inside your there, just clean it out. And really, you don't even have to clean it out. More likely, the glue would probably stick to it and adhere even better. So we'll go with that. So, good hot glue gun. Put a good bead all the way down to give you a shape. Then apply glue to your 3 pieces. Again, keeping it down, fold it up. Put yourself as straight as possible. If you really want to give yourself more pressure, hold the other side up. But making sure that the whole body stays down the whole time. You want to keep the front and the back flat on the flat surface. That way your wing is going to be square with your tail. And again, this is going to be the longest part for me to have to do this. Scary enough, the plane's almost put together. Okay, so that's curing. It's almost enough. I can now take the other side. Put a good bead in. Beat it down there, both sides. And push it up again. And keep the weight down on it. And no, I didn't put the firewall in yet. Firewall's not really necessary at this point. Okay. Good. And now you have a nice straight surface all the way down. That is basically the fuse done. You can go in and put extra and doubler in the side here if you really want to give you a little extra strength. So just put a little dab in there, dab in there. Again, realizing that you are using glue gun, so you are adding some weight. But for what we're using, doesn't really matter. As I'm almost out of glue already, get myself ahead, another one in. Alright. All we have left now for the body is these little doublers. I got tape on my fingers. These are used for your personal preference. What I mean by that is, when we get a motor, we put the motor in. So I'll just pop the firewall in because the hole's in the right spot. Put it in the hole, just give it a little pry, pops in place. Back here, on the motors you buy, the Emax motors, the shaft sticks through. And screws stick through for when you're screwing your firewall down. Well, you don't want to have that hitting your battery when this bangs into the ground. So what I've done is I got kind of smart, is I made this the right size for a 3-cell 2200. And if you really want to give yourself a little cushion, I gave myself a couple extra doublers you can put in there to change where you want to put your weight, either forward or backwards. So now you can put your battery in between here. I don't have the right size battery, but so the battery will go in between there now. And if you were to hit really hard in the ground, this is going to hit in the battery. Even if these firewalls were to hit forward, it's going to hit the screws into this, and you're not going to puncture your battery, which is an important thing to have. So I'll take them back out because I don't have a battery handy to figure out exactly where I want it to be yet. And it also helps out with weighting too. So we want to balance your plane. Well, we have the tail section. Just clips right in. Clips right in. There's absolutely nothing spectacular about the whole tail section whatsoever. I do like to, of course, you know, because I'm live, I don't have my marker handy. Of course I don't have my marker handy, because it would be nice to have for you. I got a red marker, good enough. I'm not sure if you can see, but the holes all line up. So you roll them off, put them all, and you line them up. Make sure that you have it down that way. Now, you can sand this. I found now with the new glue that I don't really need to sand it. But if you really want to get a little more precise to make it quick, because you only do this one shot, make sure you put it together. You have your two keyed teeth that are still coming through. As you can see, they're still in the bottom. The teeth are sticking out. They just key into place on the bottom, which now gives you your airplane straight. So, with my little marker, I can just put myself a little mark to here, to there, just to know where my glue is going to be, and on the inside. Perfect. So I like to glue my tail down first. So I'll put it in just a little bit like that, with the hole opening, and I'll put a little bead of glue underneath. So, put it in. If you really want to, you can put it up on the edge or something, and get yourself a nice square. And see, square here. Put the square up against it. Again, it is really not that critical of a airplane to have everything 100% square. I've never yet used a square. This is the very first time I've used a square to put these airplanes together. And anybody that's ever seen my airplanes fly know that you don't really need to use it. It's just for those people that really want to. So it's already there, good tight. Let's put an extra bead along both sides. Done. And done. Let this sit for a second. Again, it's trying to fall over on me, so I'll just let it sit here. Then I'll glue it on. And the next step is to get ready for the wing. And I think I have a piece of dowel here long enough to do the job. I do, so we're in luck. Again, I didn't measure how big the dowel is supposed to be. I think it's 23 inches I need for the dowel, but we'll get to that. Now the wing is not going to be ready today because I use polyurethane glue. And the glue that I like to use is the Elmer's Ultimate. Hopefully, you know, you guys are able to see everything, no problem what I'm doing. Yeah, that's the only square in the room. I'm round, so can't use me. It would definitely be messed up. Alright. Like I said, you could scuff it up if you really want to, so you could just take a knife and put some scuff marks into it. I don't particularly care. I have not had to worry about it. We've had so many mid-air collisions that ever since finding the new glue, I haven't really lost a wing yet in that aspect since the new glue. Alright. Glue gun is hot. Now to apply to all the places you need to put it. See, not bad. Now just assemble it together into your keyhole at the back, keyhole at the front, and apply a little bit of pressure. If you want to, you can go up to the edge of your table, to give it a good little push down in the front. Yes, I probably could have glued the flat surface of the tail on first. And of course I gotta sit on the square on the table. But I'm flying by the seat of my pants here, so it doesn't matter. It's a flat surface and it's gonna go all the way back. So again, on both sides, I know it adds more extra weight, but I always put a little extra dab of glue down there, a little dab of extra glue down there, and that side. I figure the plane works out to be about 3 sticks of glue for each plane. So technically the plane now is done on 2 sticks. And have the wing to go. So there. It is now glued in on both sides. If you really want to, you can use a little squeegee and go down both sides. I really want to make it really pretty. Just give it a slide on both sides. But not really needed. Again, combat plane. Good. So now I'll set this aside. We don't need it anymore. Next important part you need is some sort of water tool for brushing into your wing. We'll need this squeegee again too for the wing. Wing has already been taped together, pre-cut, fold it open, ready to go. Mind you, this one needs a little bit of tweaking, as you can see. So unfortunately, you guys get to see the small fixing of things. Unfortunately, my CNC must not have been cutting deep enough. So I just need to give myself a light cut across the top of. There we go. Just open that up. If I want, I can actually go into the corner of my. Well, just give it a little squeege. There we go. Let's go. And that was good. Clean off the extra burrs from the knife, cutting it. Perfect. Good. Next. Do I have a long enough? That's not long enough. Oh, but I do have one over here in the corner. We're in luck. Make sure I have the right tools at hand. Okay, put this down back. Alright. How long is this anyway, out of curiosity? Leave that for. Let's see. Technically, you need a deep that is 23.5 to go across. So, you could either measure 23.5, or just grab your handy dandy marker and go like so. This is really precise work we're working on here, of course. As I said, precise work. That might make the plane fly horribly now. And good. Alright, that's all we need for that. Which one's which? Not that one. That one. Alright, so next steps. What I like to do, because I'm gluing this piece right in front of this hole, but I won't be doing that just yet. I like to mark straight edge along, just to give me an idea of how close I'm going to go. And I need a longer straight edge. Because I'm only going to glue down the ruler, or the 5/16 dowel with glue gun, and then polyurethane glue. So now I know where I can put a bead of glue all the way down. I don't think I need the marker anymore. Okay. First, when you get the wing together, there's already tape on the inside. So all I do is I'll take this up at an angle. And what do I do with the other glue stick if I just put it in the end? Oh well. Anyway. And I put a bead right in the middle. Like that. Stick it down on a flat surface. Grab your squeegee-like material. Again, it's all on the inside of the wing, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like. That's it. Squeegee it in. Now I have my mark for the center. Just so I can stick my dowel on. One side to the other. Stick it in place. There we go. Just like that. And this is the top of the wing, and that's the bottom of the wing. So, that being said, I will push this one over a little bit more because it's not really folding over the way I want it to. There we go. These just line up the outside like that. Perfect. Okay. It's nice to have weight on hand. I know most people probably don't have these. Unfortunate, but whatever. I do. Old jail cell batteries. They're great for this purpose. Alright, everything that's going to be glued. Let us see. And this little piggy here. This stuff is horrible. You don't ever want to get on your fingers. It even has on here for cleanup. Use rubber gloves and avoid skin. Well, there's a reason for that. It is a water base, so it just goes right into your skin. I like putting a little bit of glue right along the spar and in all these little holes. And lately, I've been doing a little extra along the back, which I'm going to brush in. And I'll leave a whole edge along here open though, because I want to be able to put the glue gun onto it to hold it down tight. So, and the key is just brushing it in. And I'm not using any water yet. Okay, Alright, and then all these holes. Push them in. And I'll go past it a little bit too. All along the spar. Because this is your leading edge where you're going to want to have the most strength, of course. And again, if you really want to have a good working surface underneath you, I like using a little chunk of MDF underneath me. You don't have to if you don't want to, of course, but definitely helps out for wasteboard material to be cutting on. And if you run any extra glue on, who cares? Doesn't make a difference. Alright, now, because I got the top of this wet, put this out of the way, I can fold this over to where I want it to be. Or at least approximately where I want to be, straight across. Go. Now I can see where I need to put a little more glue there. Because that's going to be the top where the spar goes. So it doesn't have to be perfect because it's polyurethane glue, which is amazing. It foams and expands like no tomorrow. Alright. in my mistakes in the past, putting the airplane together, I have done this. I used to spray the material. Not anymore. I'll spray my little brush. I use the brush to brush it on top to give me the water acceleration. For the only reason I think I found that is sometimes the glue does not stick to, if you're using the glue gun anyway, will not stick to the plastic. And this way I'm actually getting a mix in with the glue right now. And because I've already put the glue on the Corro, it's already adhered to that section of the Corro. And here I can go a little bit with it, just because I don't want to get any water on that part or that part of the coroplast, or when I try and use my glue gun, it's just not going to stick. And it looks like I'm pretty much brushing the whole wing in polyurethane. I know it looks like that. It's close, but it's not a thick amount by any means. Someday I may actually, measure it to see how much weight I'm using or how much glue I'm using on weight, but I'm pretty lazy. I'll just keep filling these holes in. As you can see, it's already starting to foam up a little bit. This stuff's going to take 24 hours to cure anyway properly, so it's going to be sitting for a while, but yeah. Now, this is garbage. And for the last part, I could fold it top down or bottom up. Because it's going to cure anyway, I'm going to fold it this way down so I can see my lines where I need to go. So I'm going to just put myself a bead of glue all the way along this edge. Folding this over, lining up my middle to get me where I want in the middle, line up the outside, 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 and just push it down. You have a long straight edge, that helps obviously to keep it down nice as well. Just enough to hold it in place, because really the glue gun is not going to hold this into place. It's going to be the rest of that polyurethane glue once I get her set up. So it's now glued together. It has an airfoil, but it's not really touching the center as you can see. So that's for your choice. I'm going to leave it upside down, but I need a couple little pieces of paper because it's going to leak out onto my cutting bed. The no polyurethane likes to leak. So I'll just stick one right that wingtip. Right that wingtip. And now apply it from the base to the spar, leaving the front open. Base to the spar. Base to the spar. Base to the spar. Base to the spar. I can probably get one more battery in if I do it right. It's not really necessary, but I'm not putting it on the middle. I'm putting it right on where the glue touches at the trailing edge of the wing. There we go. I'm going to get this last one in too. Perfect. And that is how you would put the wing together. So, and the plane. And now it's just going to sit and make its own perfect all the way along. Then afterwards, all you have to do, there's the hole here in the top, which has the tape in the middle here. I don't know if you can see it through. There's a hole right through. The servo goes in there. This hole goes in for your elevator servo. Technically, it's supposed to be for a rudder servo if you wanted it. you could have another spot underneath here if you want to put another servo, and that's why that little slot's there. So you could put an elevator servo on the bottom. This servo here will be for the rudder. If you just cut out one half of a flute and put a horn in. And the wing literally just glues right on, straight square up into here. So when you put the wing on, if you want to do it properly, you put a little dab of glue on both sides with the wing straight up. Lay it down a bit. Measure from tip to your wing tips, basically. So your outside tip to your outside tip. Have it perfectly square. Me, on the other hand, I don't. I just pick it up and go, yeah, that looks pretty square, considering they're Corro and they flex. And that, in a nutshell, is building the bear. So that's about it. I think I'm going to cut it out there, unplug my glue gun. Firewall's still not glued in. That is the last thing I glue in when I have the motor installed. I probably won't do a video on how to do the radio gear install. Everybody has different ways of doing it, and that just leaves things open for all kinds of different discussions, and I don't want that. So again, that's the Baron. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Have a good night.